Thank you, Mr. President. I want to echo the remarks of the previous speakers, and I also want to amplify my gratitude and thanks to our colleague, the gentleman from South Boston, who has not given up on this issue like many issues he champions in this legislature. He has brought us to this day and made sure that we are all being kept accountable. There is no good reason for this bill not to be expedited to the governor's desk now. Now, there is not one person in this building that can tell me or any of us why this bill shouldn't have been adopted years ago, but why it wouldn't be adopted now. Mr. President, I also want to say thank you with extreme gratitude to the gentleman, the chair of the Committee on Public Safety, who has made sure that we did not forget about this bill and many other bills that protect the health and safety of public safety personnel across the Commonwealth. But he has stuck to it on this one to make sure that this got to us today in a form that we can all vote on, hopefully unanimously. And also to echo his sentiments in enormous gratitude, not only to firefighters across the Commonwealth, but to those that have been very actively engaged in getting this bill done today, from the professional firefighters in Massachusetts that are with us, IAFF, Local 718, Boston Fire, and many, many others across the Commonwealth that have kept us accountable. Mr. President, I remember, like probably many of us do, where I was that day 10 years ago. I was with my coworkers, and we were working during the day, and somebody said to me, "Hey, Feeney, throw the scanner on and listen to the fireground operations at this working fire downtown." And I remember listening to the scanner and hearing in their voices, hearing the Mayday calls, hearing the response, hearing the incredible conditions that existed in that fire that day, and wondering what has gone wrong. What has gone wrong? And that's something that I had the opportunity to listen from afar on a scanner. I couldn't imagine being on that fire that day. And to lose Lieutenant Walsh and Firefighter Kennedy in such a tragic way should never, ever, ever, ever be in vain. But to be able to take that tragedy and turn it into progress to make sure that not only that doesn't happen, but to reawaken us to do more of this, to think about the plight that firefighters, especially in public safety personnel across the Commonwealth, face in their own turn out there with PFAS and the issues that they're dealing with across the Commonwealth, whether it's working fires or on other incidences and in different events across Massachusetts. Mr. President, we need to focus on these issues. And I am so happy today that we are. And I want to thank the chair from, the Ways and Means chair from Westport, who I was with a couple weeks ago at an event with the professional firefighters in Massachusetts, and said, you know what, this is something that we need to do and we need to expedite. Here we are. Here we are. And the Senate President, who understood how important it was for us to do this at this point in our session, again, to give us a shot to get this to the governor's desk quickly. It's that sort of commitment that is important for us, but it's also the firefighters and public safety personnel across Massachusetts that empower us to be able to do that, who advocate, who keep us accountable, who tell their stories, who share their stories not only of success and victory when they're able to save lives and property, but who share the stories of tragedy, who share the stories of showing up time after time at churches, temples, funerals, and services across Massachusetts because another firefighter succumbed to injuries on the job. Mr. President, I am so grateful that we are doing this today. It's time to turn that tragedy into something positive, and I know that is ridiculous sometimes to even have to say, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart, and I know everybody here shares it, that if we can take that tragedy and at least see something move forward to protect the lives of firefighters who protect us on a daily basis across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, then I think we're doing our job and we're being responsive. I hope to see us do more of these types of bills, Mr. President, here in this chamber, not only as a message to public safety professionals that we're grateful for their service, but that we care about keeping them alive too. Thank you, Mr. President.